Now, if you want to be successful, simplify it. Anybody can make something complicated. My good friend Robert Allen is a genius at taking complex strategies and making them simple. Simplify, then multiply, simplify, and then multiply. 5 steps to financial freedom. Step number 1, you need to learn how to make more money. Just flat out, you need to learn how to make more money. How do you make more money? How do you make more money? How do you make more money? That's step number 1. It's not all of a step, but it's step number 1. Now, most people have a job or a second job, or they have a spouse that has a job. And there's all kinds of problems with that. One is that it's taking all your time. And number 2 is you work today, you get a check. You punch the clock, you make money, but it's not residual. It doesn't keep coming in. And the problem is that it doesn't grow with inflation. As things get more expensive, the jobs don't make more money, do not make more money to keep up with it. So most people, all they have is a job, and they work their whole life in a job that they probably hate, that they can't be their own boss or do their own thing. So you have to do that. Now, many of you need to keep your job and then do other things on the side. But step number 1 is you got to learn how to make more money. How do you make more money in your job? You solve bigger problems. You look for problems. What are the problems that are out there that need to be fixed? Most people run away from problems. We don't. We run towards those problems. My next door neighbor is a neurosurgeon. He's done 2 back surgeries on me. He makes more money than a regular surgeon, who makes more money than a doctor, who makes more money than a nurse, who makes more money than a receptionist. Why? Because he solves bigger problems. How do you solve bigger problems? Problems are a game, and games are fun. Let's play the game and have some fun. Now, I'm not curing cancer. I'm just trying to make a huge difference in someone's life. Solve the problems. Go find the problems. It's fun. Problems are fun. Problems are a game, and games are fun. Add value. Tony Robbins taught me this. Add more value than someone else. Most people would do a seminar and they would do, from 9 to 5 and then have breaks and stuff like that. This guy's a nut job. I love Tony Robbins. Our office was just up the street from him. I used to go flying in his helicopter with him when he was in San Diego. Wonderful guy. He's not too much. We're about the same age. And he taught me, says, add value, add value, add value. Everybody wants to take away, wants to get the cheapest thing they can for the cheapest amount of money. He's the opposite. How do you add value? How do you add value? How do you add value that has real value that probably doesn't cost much? How do you add more value? Because when you add more value than the next guy, then people will come back to you because they got a better deal. They made a bigger difference in their life. Add value. Study successful people. You have to study successful people. Tony Robbins read hundreds of books when he was getting started. He read one of Robert Allen's books called The Challenge, which is the true story about how Robert Allen and myself and our friend Blaine Lee took 3 people out of an unemployment line and taught them how to change their life and start making some money because they wanted to change their life. He read that book and he says, you guys didn't even get it, but you had unconscious competence. You had an idea and a strategy and you just knew that it's something you should try and do. And he read one of those books, and then that's attracted him back to Bob Allen. Study successful people. Bob Allen was on a show. And at the time, Bob Allen was the hit guy. He was the main guy. It was called Kelly and Company. It was in Detroit. And he was on that show, that early morning show, talking about real estate and his book and stuff like that. And 2 other guests were on there that were the lesser people. One was Tony Robbins and the other was Oprah. And you can see that Tony took Bob aside and says, hey, you're not very congruent with what you're doing right now. Let me help you get congruent. Let me help you simplify what you're doing. Let me help you find your purpose. And when you find your purpose, we can multiply that. And they became good friends. As a result, that connected to me. I became good friends with Tony. I connected to Tony with people like Jay Abraham and other people. We help each other study successful people and then do what they do. Separate your money. Number 2. Separate your money. Everybody, it's amazing. Money comes in and they don't know where your money comes in. The vast majority of people stick their head in the sand. By not playing the game, you're playing the game. The game is being played. The game is being played. And if you don't pay attention And if you don't get in the game, you're still playing the game. You've got to learn how to play the game. Separate your money. Separate your money. Get an idea of where you want your money to go. Figure it out. Have fun. Money's just a game and games are fun. Finance is just a game and games are fun. When I taught this school on Tuesday, I was in the lunchroom and I was talking to the lady that was serving these kids lunch. And she goes, I just don't understand this stuff. So I pulled out my phone and I gave her a QR code. She just scanned it and I gave her these wonderful classes. What did she do? She gave it to her kids. She gave it to her husband. I was on the phone with our banker yesterday getting some more $2 bills to give away. And he said, I asked him what I'm doing, had a nice chat with him about, because we're friends. And I says, you know, the Success Money Foundation is doing really well. And he goes, oh, Joe, show me that. And so he went to the site, pulled it up and says, my kids need this. They're getting married in 6 months. They need this. We all need it. Step number 2, you got to separate your money. Separate your money. Number 3, you got to give some of it away. You got to give some of it away. I don't care how much it is. I don't care what percentage it is. I don't care who you give it to. Give it to an organization, a person, or somebody who needs it, that you can make a better life for them. Now, giving them money is just one thing. Giving them knowledge is even more important. Sharing the wealth of knowledge, sharing the wealth of doing it, and helping them to execute it. You know, it's one thing to learn to play, to do the football play. It's the other thing to actually do it. You got to give some of it away. The people that have done the very best, that have made the most money, are givers. Warren Buffett, giving it all away. All of his Berkshire Hathaway stock, 99% of his wealth, he's giving it away. Bill Gates, giving it away. That's what you need to do. You need to give it away. Now, what did these guys have in common? Well, they gave a great product away. And as they gave that product away, then people would come back. See's Candy. That's one of the companies that Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, owns. What do? They give away candy. Then people, as they get a sample, what do? They buy boxes of it. It's reciprocal. When you give something to someone, good things are going to come back. If I give you something, then most likely you're going to give something back to me. If I give you something, hopefully you'll give me something back to me. And if I can solve your problem, then you're going to do work with me because I added more value than the next guy. That's why that's so important. But you got to give some of it away. It's a spiritual law and it's a marketing law. So we want to be able to do both those. Number 4, you got to automatically invest. Automatically invest. Automatically invest. These kids that I taught in school, in the high school, if I could never see them again, I had 40 minutes, only had 40 minutes because it was an assembly, 40 minutes to teach them. And if there was only one thing that I got them to do, was to automatically invest, to take the money that they have coming in and on a monthly basis, invest it. Monthly money times time. Do it over a period of time. We're building a strong foundation. Times have a go up in value. You put money into a savings account, it's not going up in value. You're doing the first part of it, you're putting it away. You're doing it for a period of time, but you're not making it grow. We need to make it grow so that your money's working for you. You need to automatically invest. And this lady that was teaching these, that was in the school lunch, says, I don't have any idea how to do the investments. I'm so worried about it because everything I see on TV, I'm confused. And I simply said, it's very simple. One of the things we do is we invest in the 500 biggest companies in America, called the S&P 500. It's a group. That's an index that you can put a little bit of money in and you own a little bit of all 500 of those companies. They're global. They're all over the world. I've seen Coca-Cola at a little camp in Everest, towards Everest. They were selling Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola has 300 different brands. Okay. They're all over the world. And that's what we invest in. We don't trade. We don't buy and sell. We just put it in the 500 biggest companies or Berkshire Hathaway. The simplicity of investing. Everybody makes it hard and confusing because they're all fighting with each other and they're trying to get your attention. So they say things that confuses everybody so that they have something unique, so you listen to them. Simplify it. The 500 biggest companies in America make more money than professionally managed funds. Who makes more money than you picking and choosing? You picking and choosing, you're probably going to lose your shirt. But what do people do? They get a little bit of money. Hey, I'm going to go gamble it over here. No, we don't gamble. We invest. We don't speculate. We invest. What do we invest in? The 500 biggest companies in America who are global. We invest in Berkshire Hathaway, which is very similar to the S&P 500 in that they own all kinds of companies. They've invested in all kinds of companies, but they're weighted more. So instead of all 500, they've got, you know, a couple hundred of them. And we follow Buffett. We love Warren Buffett, what he teaches. Automatically invest, automatically invest. And so this woman did not invest. She saved her money, but she didn't invest. She didn't have it go up in value because she didn't understand the simplicity of investing. So that's our goal is to automatically invest, automatically invest, automatically invest, put money aside over time and have it go in value. Number 5 is you got to save and spend. Save and spend. I just did an event just a little while ago and we were giving away banks. We were giving away banks to teach kids about the 5 steps. And if you've got children, when you go to the website, go to the courses, then pull it down to downloads. And there are systems to teach your kids and systems that you can use to print out and help them to learn the 5 steps. There's a little tracker that teaches you how to make more money. There's a tracker that keeps track of your charitable. There's a tracker that keeps track of your automatically investing. And there's a tracker for spend. You got to learn how to be able to do that. Now, most people in the world, all they do is spend. They don't know how to make more money. They don't make more money. And it goes from 0, not making enough money, to 5, which is spend. They put it on a credit card and at 21% or 18%, their debt doubles every 3.5 years. Mathematically, they can't get out of it. So what are banks trying to do? You walk through the door, they're trying to give you a credit card. You walk onto a college campus, they're giving away credit cards. They're giving away cocaine. They're giving away something to get you hooked because they know that they can borrow money from you at 1% or nothing and loan it back to you on your credit card at 21%. If they pay you 1%, it takes 72 years for your money to double. But if they loan it back to you on a credit card at 21%, the bank doubles their money every 3.4 years. What's wrong with this picture? Okay. They're trying to take your money. Everybody's in it for their money. We're a little different. We're a foundation. We don't need your money. We're giving. This is part of our learn, earn, return. We're in the return mode. We're trying to return. We're trying to return. We're returning our money and returning what we've learned. You got to learn how to save and spend and make it a game. Now, if you'll do these 5 steps and you'll do them in order, I don't care where you give it away. I have some ideas of what you should do with your investing, but give 5% away, 10% away, whatever you want to do. Take 5 to 10%, 20%. The more you can invest on automatically invest, the faster your money trees will grow, the faster you'll be financially independent. The remaining 70%, I don't care where you spend it. I really don't care where you spend it because when you spend it, it's gone. So one of the fun things we did with all these kids is we actually had a $1 bill. I gave them all a $2 bill and 22 cents because that was what Mrs. Broadhead gave to me and 4 of us kids in the neighborhood, my brother and a couple of the kids in the neighborhood. She gave us all a $2 bill. This was 50 years ago, which is about like $20, $30 today. And she gave us 22 cents to give away. It was the first time that an outsider gave us money to start thinking about our future. Part of that was to do religious service, to help other people, start to think about college, think about marriage, think about the future. And she gave us that money and it agreed with what my mom and dad said. It agreed with what my grandpa said. But my mom and dad, who listens to their parents, right? But this is an outside source and she agreed with them. So, oh, wow, that must be true. She gave us those things and we started to do those things. She planted that seed 50 years ago. Now, my wife and I have given millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars away. But we planted the seed 50 years ago and then people watered it. They helped us grow. They nurtured it. Step number 5, you got to save and spend. And it's a game. I don't care where you spend your money. It's just gone, but it's part of the 5 steps. The wealth formula, you need a side hustle. You need to find a way to make more money. Just that simple. The problem is that when you make money at your job, which you all need, you need a job, but you also need a side hustle, an extra small business that you can do. You're going to be taxed at a higher rate at your job than you will be your small business or your real estate. It's just the way that they wrote the books. They thought everybody's going to have a job. That's where we're going to get our money. You're going to get taxed at a higher rate. Warren Buffett's secretary pays a higher rate on her payroll than Warren Buffett pays out of his investments in step number 4. It's a higher rate. And that's just the way it is. Step number 4, like I said, monthly. Do it monthly. Every time you make money, put it away. Put it away, put it away, put it away. My first job, I was washing dishes at a truck stop. Now, I worked for my dad, sweeping the floors and putting new drinks in the Coke machine and cleaning the bathrooms when I was a kid. But my first job outside of that was washing dishes at a truck stop. And when I made my first big job, I was only making like $1 an hour, $2 an hour, something very, very small. I made that first chunk of money. What did I do? As I learned how to invest it, and I invested with my father. And we would actually loan money to my dad, who would sell cars, and then he would use that money to finance those cars. And as people paid that money back, he would give it to us. So as a teenager, I was making 12%. Well, 12 into 72, the rule of 72, goes 6 times. I was doubling my money every 6 years. Wow. So it's not the amount, it's the concept and pulling the trigger and doing it. My dad not only taught me, but we did it. We did it. And so that was the piece. We did it over time. You want to double your money? How long does it take to double your money? Now I work with these big organizations, and I'm just a little guy in these organizations. These organizations are massive. We do a lot of big projects together. And one of the things they talk about is, how long does it take to double your money? They think of it, how long does it take to double money? Well, it takes 5 years, it takes 7 years, it takes 4 years. That's how they calculate their success. If I put in $1, when am I going to get $2 back? How many years does it take? They think totally different. Rate of return. How do I make money with my money? How much money is my money making me? That's what we're doing in the foundation. We put all that money in the foundation. It's invested. As it makes money, we give that money away. We've given out 27,000 small financial rewards to help plant money trees. Now, many of you have got multiple rewards. Some of you got, on average, it's about 9. So we're planting seeds, and then we're watering. When I taught that high school and elementary school, I was planting seeds, and I was giving them water. I was giving them water to help grow their tree. That's what we're trying to do. The wealth formula is very simple. You put money away. You put money away as every time you make money. Get money put into these investment accounts times time. You need to do this over a period of time. Times have to go up in value. You need to learn how to get your money to grow. That equals wealth. That's the 5 steps. And that's the 5 steps of what you need to do in order to be financially independent. Teach those 5 steps. If it's too hard to teach on the back of an envelope, it's too hard. Simplify, multiply, simplify, multiply, simplify, multiply. When you teach the concepts, pretend like you're teaching somebody in the 5th grade. Because if it's more complicated than that, you're not going to be able to multiply it very fast. That's how you share the wealth. That's how you change people's lives. That's how you do and take those people to the next level. Share the wealth, make a difference, make it happen. And remember, every life